This is me. Using a dupe glitch in order to obtain stacks of enchanted golden apples to achieve godhood. However, after using it in order to dupe my enchanted golden apples and accomplishing my goal, I did not feel satisfied and honest with what I did, and so, I destroyed all the illegitimate god apples I made. You see, I am trying to become the most unkillable player in Minecraft Hardcore, and getting stacks of enchanted golden apples would allow me to do just that. But how would I do that, you might ask? I was going to craft this godly fruit using an overpowered gold farm in everyone's favorite PvP version. With that being said, it was time to get back to the video. After getting sent back to square one, I set out to grind more op gear using the XP farm I made last episode. And this happened. Nice. With this new drip pickaxe, I went on a long mining trip to obtain gold to make notch apples and more diamonds, and I managed to collect over a stack of diamonds, and make 3 enchanted golden apples. Which was huge progress. However, whilst I was out doing all this, I left my base unattended, and when I came back, I discovered that 4 of my villagers had passed away after being zombified by intruding zombies at night, and then burning to death due to the sun in the morning, and thus, due to this catastrophe only my farmer remained. I was devastated. I had been planning on making a villager breeder with the villagers, but that was now impossible with only 1 villager. And a villager was not capable of asexual reproduction. So, with the help of Chunk Base, I set out on a 5,000 block journey, in search of a village with a farmer and a cleric. After finding the village, I secured all the villagers within a house, and proceeded to start removing the doors and placing them around the main house. I also made a nether portal for easy access to the base. After that I added doors on top of the villager house, as doors were required for villagers to breed during this version, for some reason. However, there was a problem. Getting from the new village to my old base portal was extra treacherous and tedious, especially when making repeated trips back and forth. So, I decided to shift both portals right under the bedrock roof, before breaking the bedrock using glitches from up top, which gave me greater accessibility. However, it was not for me to say that this was a smooth process. Doing the bedrock break was extremely annoying as my goofy ass kept screwing it up, and I kept doing the bedrock break wrong. Along with that, the portals just did not want to link up properly. However, I eventually resolved all the issues and was finally able to make easy access between both portals. However, running back and forth still took a 10 Precambrian years, and used up a lot of hunger, which caused me much annoyance. So after doing a little off-camera research, I found an easy method of transportation. Teleboaters. Basically, by placing boats 2 to 3 blocks away, and right-clicking to hop in them in quick succession, you basically get to travel faster than the rate at which I gain subscribers. And, speaking of which, please subscribe so that I can make better content for you all and surpass this imposter in subscribers. And anyways, going back to the video, I would use minecarts and rails, but those cost a ton of resources like iron and gold, which I did not have the capacity nor time to procure large quantities of. The ice boating trick did not work back then, and I did not want to waste years of my life making an ender pearl launcher, so I settled on teleboating. However, teleboating required the use of boats, and a singular boat still costs 5 planks of wood per boat, which equates to 1 1/4 of logs per boat, which I am going to have to place within the length of 800 blocks. So doing some simple math, I ruled out the amount of boats needed, which was about 267 boats, which was equivalent to about 1,335 planks. Thus I decided to make a tree farm to sustain the amount of wood needed. Plus, this farm would be useful to me in the near future as well. However, this tree farm came at the cost of more than a stack of pistons, shitloads of redstone and tons of other weird ingredients. Thus, I began gathering the resources to build said tree farm. With these resources, it was time to build the tree farm on the nether roof. After placing all of the boats, I decided to return to my new village, and built up some walls for the base. I also added a huge ton of doors and expanded my sugar cane farm. I also decided to get started on planting a pumpkin farm and a melon farm, as I was going to be using this base a lot more often. Shortly after, I discovered that librarians traded 10 books for emeralds, and by looting a stronghold library, I could basically get infinite emeralds. So, at night I farmed ender balls with my looting 3 sword, and eventually got enough to craft a load to head to the stronghold, in order to raid the libraries and steal decades worth of knowledge in the form of books at the cost of obtaining a green gem which were traded by scholars. And so, after combining my ender balls and the blaze powders, I made the Eye of Ender and headed off to find the stronghold, which did not take long, as it was ocean exposed. After digging my way through and filling it up with the eyes, I admired the dark void of the portal and stupidly decided to stand at the edge of the portal. And as I was about to turn around and leave to find the library, this happened. Now, my fate was left to be decided by a battle which I had not come prepared for.